Welcome to day 4, and I'm here finally in Darlat. Got in last night at about 10 o'clock at night and picked up by a driver and took me to the accommodation that I'm in now. And it was fabulous because we had the windows down, no air conditioning on, which I love. I love the air conditioning, but we had the windows down and it was just beautiful. Temperature was about 23 degrees Celsius. It was balmy. I'm thinking Balmy rather than Barmy, and it was just perfect temperature. It was lovely driving through fresh air rather than being on a plane for a long period of time, or being in an airport for 5 hours waiting to connect to another plane. So it was lovely. And woke up this morning and sun wasn't shining, bit overcast, but I met up with some expats, and they said it's kind of typical at this time of the year. Also, watch out for the afternoons because it gets a bit monsoony and a bit rainy. So, but I knew that before, so I brought some wet weather gear and that I got while I was in England. In fact, back in 2018, when I visited my cousins, or cousin, and a bit of family in England, Sarah and Mark and the two boys. So I picked up the snow gear, and I'm thinking that's going to do well to keep me keep me dry. Anyway, so back to the fiasco. So we had Qantas buggering me around, and then we had Vietnam Airlines. The next day, I went to see them at their checkout while they were, checking in people, and expecting them to honour the ticket that I had, which said $160 to change it to another day. Even if you've missed the flight that you were supposed to. So, and their supervisor, a bloke, was, shall we say, a little abrupt, and also didn't have great listening skills. And I say that because he spent his whole time telling me what I should do, what he was not going to do, but what I should do. And one of those three things was said repeatedly, and that was talk to Qantas. Now, no matter how many times I explained to him that I had spoken to Qantas, and for nearly 2 hours trying to get them to accept and admit liability for me missing my flight because they almost 2 hours of delay. But no, no. And as I explained in a previous video, they just washed their hands of it, kind of like wash that man right out of my hair, except I've got no hair. And so, so that particular chap wasn't. And the other suggestion that he made was that I visit the ticket purchase office of Vietnam Airlines and get it sorted out there, which was in the centre of Sydney, not anywhere near the airport. So that was a peeve. So I ended up I've been trying to get hold of Vietnam Airlines customer service team in Vietnam, and eventually got through, because lots and lots of hassle. Anyway, eventually got through, eventually got to speak to someone who spoke English, and they said, yeah, we can sort that out. We'll just issue you with a new ticket and we'll send it to your email. No problem at all. And it's going to be $160. And I said, great. And then they issued me the ticket and they billed me for an extra $605. So I said, why is that? They said, because it's a different class. And I said, well, hang on a second. You said that it was. Oh, no, it's a different class now. You've got to, you've got to pay this extra fee. And it turns out that on the 30th of April, when I was due to fly out, the class for premium economy was a class Z. The 1st of May, that class Z completely disappeared, did not happen. It was replaced by class U, which was $605 more expensive. So by the time I've added up all the different bits, the accommodation, the food, the airline tickets, nearly $3,000 I'd spent in 3 days. Now, even I find that a bit difficult to do, normally around town. But the airlines, it's so $3,000 anyway. So I come over here, picked up at the airport, and brought to my accommodation, nice accommodation, and met up with some expats. There's tons and tons of expats here, apparently. I've been invited to lots of coffee things all over the place. But one particular group of expats around my age, and Singapore, Germany, Australia, England, somewhere Northern Europe, and a great time was and in America. This will become pertinent, and a great time was had by all of us, and lots of coffee, and that coffee, really nice coffee, and Australian $2.17 a cup. Yeah, yeah. So I was talking to this American chap, and he was saying, "Oh yeah, yeah, I've got a place that I had with my ex-wife, and she left it to me, and yeah, I'm thinking of just not letting it anymore." And so we were talking about this, and now I'll let you know that the average rent around Darlat is about, shall we say, 600 to 800 US dollars a month. He's going to let me have it for $150 a month. Now, I'm not expecting the Taj Mahal, but until I've got myself sorted here and I've figured out where I want to move to, in semi-rural, it's 106. I can't pass up $160 a month for renting a place, even if it's just a pokey little one room. It's furnished. It's There's plenty of restaurants and cafes nearby. So I'm going to see it tomorrow. Going to have a look tomorrow. But that's pretty bloody good. Um, so there we are, day 4 now of my adventure. I shall keep you up to date. Lucky you. And until next time, take care. Take some communications risks because you never know what may pay off, and say to Qantas. And I hope we get the results that we were looking for in the election tonight. Okay, ciao back.